Oh, it ended. It failed to go live. Please try again. Uh-oh. I don't know what to do. Hello, hello. I think we're live. Hi, everybody. Hi, guys. Can you hear us? Hi, welcome to another VanHack webinar. Today, I'm joined with Amir, who's the CEO of Article.com. And I just want to make sure that everyone can hear us and can see us. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Great. So good evening, everybody. Let's get right into it. So hi Nelma, hi Emilio, hi Danielle, hi Lucas, hi everybody. So we are joined today, as I mentioned, with Amir, who is the CEO of Article. Hi Amir, how are you doing?
Hi Ilya, doing great, thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. So let's get right into it. Tell us a little bit about Article.
So Article, Ilya, is a lifestyle brand in the home furnishing space, transforming the way we go about styling and furnishing our homes. That's what we do. We're a vertically integrated brand. We come up with our own designs and work with designers and manufacturers and retail directly to consumers online, bringing designer furniture at a fraction of the price point that it's typical through traditional retail.
Very cool, very cool. And I see you're in the warehouse right now. Is this your office?
Yeah,
tell us about the space
actually,
there.
yeah, it's an office. It's not a warehouse actually. It's our office come workshop / photo studio. So, I mean, if I turn this around, you can see a photo studio that we've jigged together. This is where we photograph products. I'm kind of sitting on this table, this teak table that we're looking to introduce, and this whole outdoor collection of furniture that we're evaluating to introduce for the next outdoor season. And we've got about 33 desks. It's about a 5,000 square feet space. So it's all, it's not your typical corporate banker's work environment.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. So how long has the company been around? You said 30 people. Maybe tell us a little about the backstory. How did it get started?
Sure. The company has been around since October 2011. Article.com, whose previous name was Bright.com, was launched in May of 2013. And how we got started, one of my co-founders, his name is Andy, went to Beijing to learn Mandarin for 6 months just as a hobby. And while he was down there, he noticed an incredible difference production cost of items at the retail price points. So he approached me with an idea of, he termed the idea fill the container.com. So the idea was we all collectively order until a container quantity is reached. The factory produces it, we bring it, we cross-dock it, we distribute it to everybody's sort of collective consumer ordering from the factory. We all save a bunch of money. And I thought that was, the idea appealed to me, and I decided to basically embark on, we started a company to bring that idea to manifestation. And the industry that we picked was furniture. To start off with, to realize that idea, because it just so happened two things. In furniture, this is the most pronounced between production cost and retail price points, especially in designer furniture. And secondly, it's just far easier to fill containers with furniture than it is to, let's say hockey sticks. So that's how we got into the furniture space.
Very cool.
And since then, we've obviously evolved quite a bit into a lifestyle brand.
Yeah, fantastic. That's a great idea. And I think Indochino is doing something similar with suits. So there's a lot of Vancouver companies are taking advantage of that and offering something great to the consumers. By the way, Paulo says nice site. I think people are enjoying the design there.
Oh, thanks, Paulo. Appreciate
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. It's very well designed.
Thank you.
Yeah. So speaking of that, let's get into the kind of talent you guys are looking for. Seems you have some designer roles. You have a full stack developer role. I think everyone on the line is interested in getting a job with you. So what are the roles? And then maybe we can talk about how to impress you guys and stand out on the interviews after that.
Yeah, I mean, for us, so I'm a software engineer myself by education, and my previous company was we were building search engines and catalog engines. So software has been my life. I just happen to find myself in the furniture world now. So inevitably, the way we go about doing business becomes very technology driven. We've got a ton of systems that are homegrown systems. Our website, our back-end order management, our warehouse management, our logistics management, our marketing automation, our the entire customer experience management end-to-end. We've been designing and building these systems as we've gone along, and going about doing it in a way that's highly automated, highly efficient, highly tailored to us. So technology is just kind of, it's not just like we have IT needs. That's not how the company set up. Technology is a driver for driving business. So right now we've got a huge technology stack of to-dos and not enough bandwidth, so we're looking to hire. And we typically look to, we're looking for problem solvers. We're looking for I think we're looking for people who get satisfaction not out of the writing code or the latest technology, but out of delivering product and solving problems and getting something out there that makes a difference. Code that actually gets used in actual utility. And of course, as we all know, productivity levels vary incredibly amongst development. We like to keep a small team, but a very very effective, very efficient, very productive team.
Fantastic, great. Sounds like a big challenge. So yeah. Tell us about the tech stack. What tech do you use, and also maybe we could talk about design after that as well.
I should have probably brought my principal software engineer along, but I don't code anymore. But it's Java. It's all the entire platform is Java based. I know our team uses all kinds of frameworks. I think Java Play is used for the web end as well as for the user interfaces. It's all hosted in Amazon. It's predominantly a Java-driven shop, service-oriented architectures. That's as much as an extent that I'll probably be able to give on the tech stack.
Well, that's fine. We have Eduardo's an amateur woodworker, so he's enjoying the webinar. You can have a furniture designer and a developer in one.
Yeah, well, we could. We're certainly more and more beginning to do our own designs. So, Eduardo, feel free to apply.
That's great. Cool. And what about on the design side? We have a couple designers here in the audience. What do you guys look for in a designer in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think simplicity is a huge thing with article. We really cut down layers in almost everything that we do. You know, we've heard companies of similar size to us employ 6-7 times the number of staff that we do. And reason is we keep things efficient, simple, automated, smart, hands-on. So just a bit of a different way of going about things. If you've gone through the article website, you would have noticed, you know, it's really, really simple. So I'm just always looking to cut words, cut features, cut elements that aren't of use, and really get to just focus on the core few that matter. So there's just that intense rigor in that thought process, and in when it comes to designing not just the website, the entire customer experience, and through all its touch points. Simplicity, putting yourself in the customer's shoes. Maybe just some ingenuity there. It's really there tends to be a huge tendency to over design things and make things look pretty, but you know, I think there's a place for beautification, but you know, the principle that I like to quote is you know, don't do anything unless it is both needed and useful. But if it is needed and useful, don't hesitate to make it beautiful. That would probably summarize it.
Nice. I like that. I guess Steve Jobs as well, right? Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. I don't know if that was Steve Jobs, maybe it was Einstein, but one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, Apple certainly focuses a lot on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, for sure. So, great. And so, what do you look for maybe outside of the tech skills? Like, how tell us maybe about the culture of the company. What do you guys like to do? I really like small, efficient team, but any other things you guys do that are different from other companies?
Well, I think there's 5 core principles that that we've sort of identified in our manifesto, and that we really try to embed into our culture. We call Be Direct, so efficiency, and drawing the straightest line between 2 points. So we like people who think optimization, who think efficiency, who think direct. And it's not just, it's also the way we go about addressing issues. We like to take issues address head on and not sort of beat around the bush about it and take them on. The second principle, I mean, we call it Be Good. I mean, to me, this is a fundamental basics. You know, if you're telling a customer that something's they're gonna get it by a certain time frame, we got to deliver it by that certain time frame. So alignment of commitments, embedding trust, treating each other with mutual respect, just doing the right thing, regardless of the consequences. So that's a principle that's embedded into how we operate, which has, I believe, helped us develop a lot of goodwill with our customers. And in general, it results in a happy, healthy working environment. We work hard, but we're not stressed, you know. And really, it's up to everybody to take on and deliver on their own personal responsibility. I'm not asking anybody to put in X number of hours. Doesn't really matter. The third principle that we have is, as a company, is be better. Just constantly looking to evolve, to improve, continuous improvement. Business at the end of the day is always a race, competition, and you have to win. You have to beat the competition, and I think it's hard to beat a company that's always getting better. So we're always challenging things. How do we reduce return rates? How do we reduce defect rates? How do we improve? How do we reduce damage rates? How do we improve net promoter scores? How do we increase conversion rates? How do we increase, you know, all those metrics? with tech, the expectation is somebody, again, who participates and contributes towards this vision and is able to take the initiative and propel. Those are the type of engineers that have done the best with our best in our company. The fourth principle that we have is called be genuine. We're very, if you take a look at all our pictures, we have no models. It's actually article staff. So we kind of like to be who we are. No pretensions. And we embrace diversity. I think we're 30 staff approximately here in Vancouver, and I think we've got like nationalities or something. So be yourself, be genuine. We like to embrace that. And the last one is be adventurous, you know, which basically to me means don't take the beaten path. Chart your own path. Throughout our company's history, lots of times we've been told to do certain things certain ways because that's how everybody's doing it. But we like to make our own mind about what makes sense and go about doing it that way. Those are some of the fundamental principles that then, of course, further shape up, I think, the culture of the company.
Very cool, fantastic. I saw a couple comments people really enjoy. I think even with your principles, they're simple. 2 words, basically one word really. But yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what would you say are some of the kind of maybe best parts about working at Article? What would someone get from it? Like
yeah, I mean, it's I think of course I can only answer from my perspective because I think it obviously would be a better question to ask from some of my team members, but from my perspective, I think to be part of a winning that is committed to win, that is committed to compete, I think there's a lot of satisfaction that comes out of the fact that you're part of a winning team and you're doing things that matter, that are changing and making an impact. It drives utility, it drives purpose. And I think that's what excites a lot of our team members. We have a ton of hires that are references from existing staff. We're a growing company, so people who do well, they've got a great career in front of them because of that. We'd like people to take more and more responsibilities as we grow. And I think in general, it's a pretty open work environment. There's no offices. I sit in a desk just like your startup Chile office there. That's kind of how our desks are all scattered, and I sit in just one of those desks. Very approachable. There's none of that. We just get down to solving problems. So, I think at the end of the day, if you're serious about, if you're a competent professional and you're serious about your work and you like delivering and being useful, you're probably going to love this work environment. If you're not, you'd rather be in an environment where you can sort of dodge around it. You won't last at Article. I mean, we expect people to carry our weight. We're very stringent on who we hire. But once typically I hire them, I never have to worry about any other thing. They do, people take care of their work.
That's great. Yeah. And let's talk about that. How is the hiring process? What do you look for in an employee?
I mean, we're looking for values alignment. We're looking for, of course, who are smart, who are going to be good at their work. And we're looking for people who take personal responsibility. and really, there's no. It just boils down to a bit of a judgment call on that, and we probably make wrong calls. It's hard to know. It's difficult as an employer, but you just kind of probe. You ask questions. You dig in, and you just develop a feel for the candidate. At this point of the company, I do a final interview with every single that we hire for. For software engineering, I'll start with Tessin, who's our principal engineer, and maybe one other engineer will do an interview, and we'll probably have you do some problem solving, and then if they like the candidate, then I have an interview, and to me, I'm not doing a technical interview. I'm just trying to get to know you. That's about it. There's no. It's more of an art. It's not a science.
Very cool. Yeah. So it's not like maybe some bigger companies that have these 5-step interviews and all that kind of stuff. It's a little bit more simple. I'm noticing a trend.
Yeah.
Great. A question here from Lucas. Do you guys require education? Sorry, not education. I should say degrees from university. So would someone have to have graduated from X university to work as a developer or a designer at Article?
No, not to me. I think I almost dropped out of college myself, so it's not important to me. Of course, it may be important to other individuals within Article, but my direction to to my team is it doesn't matter. There's people out there that are far more capable of delivering, and they've got no real education.
Yeah, exactly. The difference between education and knowledge, right? Yeah, especially in the tech world, right? It's all about the code or the design. So, yeah, I think that's I would agree with you. It's something that is more and more common. So, yeah, Lucas, that answers your question. And Roberto has a question about the visa sponsorship, which is always a big question from people outside of Canada. Have you gone through that experience before, or is this going to be a new experience if you do hire someone who needs the sponsorship?
Yeah, this is going to be a new experience for us. We haven't done that to this point. So we've started looking into that. What's it called, LIMA or
LMIA? Yeah,
something like that. So I've got somebody in my team looking into that, and how do we get ourselves set up to be able to do that. So we definitely want to get us there where we can do that, but it'll be a first time for us.
Cool, and VanHack will be here to help. Yeah, so guys, don't worry about it. Article and Amir are open to sponsoring visas. So if you guys don't have a work visa, which I think probably everyone on the webinar doesn't yet, don't worry. You still have a chance if you have the right profile, the right skills, and the right attitude, as Amir just said. So yeah. We will definitely help through that whole process.
Yeah, we're hiring, but you just have to be a bit patient with us as well. Our limited tech team is in the midst of some massive project rollouts, and so they're balancing at the same time. So it's a bit recruitment is a bit slow for us because we're in the midst of a warehouse management system rollout across 3 distribution centers. But we're definitely going to be hiring a few candidates in the near future.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no rush. I know it's such a big time suck sometimes recruiting. So definitely focus on the business. And another question comes here from Denise is age. Is that something that you guys worry about at all?
No. Age, age, gender, political views, religious views, race, color of your skin, none of that matters. All that matters is who's the best for the job. We run a meritocracy.
Cool. Yeah, I think in other countries that might not be so common. So I think that's why we're getting this question. It's something that comes up actually a lot for us, different candidates ask. So yeah, Dennis or Denise, I'm not sure. Don't worry about it. And I think what I always say is that honestly, the older you are, the more experience you have, the higher chance you have of getting a senior position, right? So maybe if you're in your 30s, 40s, or even 50s, as long as you can write great code, it doesn't matter. 80s, right? It doesn't matter the age.
Yeah.
Great.
So just sort of looking down the right-hand column there. Somebody's asking about a senior graphic designer. Yeah, we're recruiting for that position, so feel free to apply for it.
I'll get the link here, so you can apply. It's just unworkable, Herbert. You just click here on the senior graphic design position here. So yeah, 51. No worries. No worries. Age is just a number. It's all about your skills. Awesome. Cool. And what about remote? Is that something you guys are considering, or do you guys have any remote workers? Eric was asking about that.
Yeah, no, it's just something that we've got such a collaborative work environment and work ways of working where things just flow a lot better, where we're just kind of get together at a very, very short notice and decide how to go about doing things. And just we actually do having said that, we actually do have one software engineer in Mexico, but that's a very rare, exceptional situation. There in general, I'm not keen on remote.
Cool. Did maybe he start in person and they're kind of on, I don't know, workation kind of thing?
Yeah, there was a lot of a lot of time getting to know the individual, and comes from some very, very deep credentials of somebody that I know. So, and it's worked out well, but there's challenges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So no remote jobs, but it's okay, because if you do get hired, you'll be working in person in Vancouver. So that's fine, I think, for everyone here on the webinar. Cool. Yeah, Rodrigo, yes, they do sponsor visas, so don't worry about that. Cool. So maybe what's kind of one thing that is, say, surprising or different that you've had in your tech stack? Or I really like this idea that you have of the full integration and how all that works. Can you maybe talk about that and maybe the kind of problems that you need people to solve? So what would people be building? What would they be working on? What's not just the technologies, but the actual kinds of problems that are needed to be solved?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, you start, I mean, there's tons. So there's the customers. If you take a look at the front end, you look at our website and that part of the process, there's just a ton of improvements that need to be made in that as to how do we make it better. And sort of we like people to analytically analyze drop-off funnels as to where are we losing people in the funnel, and how do you do iterative developments and improvements to improve that. In other words, increase conversion rate, on site on time, engagement metrics, etc. We're also constantly putting more and more products out there. How do you still remain very, very simple to use while your product offerings evolve? Solving those problems on the design end and sort of some of the front-end development problems with that. There's also other things. People need to know when are they going to get their goods. It's not an easy question to answer when in furniture, because you can't FedEx, UPS this stuff. Yeah, this is big boxes, so we Logistics is a huge component of what we do. We spend a lot of time doing logistics management, routing, how to efficiently route, how to efficiently do full truckloads, less than truckloads, how to build carrier networks, how to make sure that every trucking company is moving the order along on time, how to make sure we stay proactively on top of all of these aspects, how to build shipments at the warehouse, how to storage utilization. Furniture takes a lot of space. What's the best ways to lay out warehouses, how to maximize for picking efficiencies, minimize inaccuracies in picking. I'm just giving you maybe just very, very brief views into some of these problems that are all problems that have to be solved, and tech has to play a role in solving them. And quite often, my expectation is for them to initiate it, for them to understand the business, what is the problem, and hey, I've got a solution. Manufacturing, how to make ensuring that manufacturing is being done on time, container loading is optimized. So sort of there's manufacturing, there's warehousing, there's transportation, there's final mile, there's into the customer's home, there's 6 months after the customer has been using the product. There's the marketing, there's all these channels through which customers get to know us, there's the funnel on the web end. And through all of these workflows and touch points, we write code to make it better. You know, we're being engineers, we've already started sort of tampering with the ideas of robotic gantries and warehouses that are actually going to pick sofas and put them on robots that'll load them into truck. I mean, it'll probably take us years before we get to doing something like that, but that's the type of mindset, anyways, that we got. So it's not it's not the highest priority project for us, but you know, a lot of analytics. You know, for example, we have sometimes sofas that get returned from Manhattan, New York, because they won't fit into somebody's elevator. Okay, can we solve this problem proactively? What clearance do we need on what box dimension in an elevator? Can we proactively alert a customer to it, etc.? You might sound like a trivial problem, but it can save us tens of thousands of dollars a month. So there's all kinds of things like that that we'd be working on. So it's not a video game studio, you know. It's business problems.
Very cool. Very cool. I didn't know a furniture company was so complicated. Wow.
Yeah, most of them aren't, but in order to make it simple for the consumer, we've made it complicated for us.
Well, that's good though. It means there's a never-ending group of challenges or interesting problems to work on. So I think people would be interested in that. Cool. And when you were talking, I was reminded of the Gigafactory, or the Tesla factory that they're creating to build. And what Elon Musk said of the actual product is not the car, but the factory that builds the car. So it sounds like your actual product is just a way that you get or build and get it to the customers rather than...
That's exactly right. And even how we go about what products we offer and the designs that we offer and the price points that we offer it at, and there's just, again, there's a lot of code to be written to make that better.
Yeah, I can understand. I can imagine. So I actually am curious from a digital marketing point of view. I'm not sure if you guys are recruiting digital marketing people, but it's something that I think is interesting. So I just want to ask, how do you guys go about looking at that? And what channels you use, and yeah, are you looking for something? I didn't see it on the website, but
we're looking to hire in the marketing department, but not in the digital marketing. We've got that covered for now. We probably might be in the future, most likely. You know, the usual suspects: Google, social media, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and you know, all those media. You know, we utilize quite extensively. It's become, you know, not so much a novelty anymore, right? It's there's sort of standard ways of going about it. You have to be smart, look at ROAS numbers quite keenly, and if they work, keep on dialing them up. So we do that. We've got some in-house digital marketing staff, and we use some agencies as one agency as well. So through a combination of that, we make it happen.
Nice, very cool. Eduardo, who I think is the guy who works with the woodworking, is asking about the software you guys use to design the furniture. Do you guys have any specific software for that, or is it in-house as well?
Yeah, I think you know that you got it's probably a question for some of our industrial designers on house, but I think they use AutoCAD, but I'm not 100% sure.
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty common. So Eduardo, I hope maybe you have some experience with that as well. Great. Cool. So I guess the last little bit here, let's open it up for questions from everybody. So does anyone have any questions that we haven't covered? I think we've gone through a lot already in a short amount of time. Does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask me? Yeah. What about Coral Draw? Is that I'm not sure. Is that a software?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty much an Adobe shop here.
Cool. I'm guessing that's for the designer roles. Interesting. Cool. Okay. So what about the future? You mentioned that a little bit about creating something in manufacturing. You need to assemble the furniture. But what other kind of big plans do you guys have for the future? Where do you see Article in maybe 3 to 5 years?
Well, you know, we the furniture industry in North America, I've heard numbers from anywhere from 250 billion to 1 trillion a year. I don't know exactly where it ends up at, but the lowest number that I've heard is an industry size of $250 billion worth of furniture being consumed every year. And the way it's done today, in my opinion, there's a far better way to do it. Existing brick and mortar companies, the way they go about it is inefficient. I think we can compete with those companies very, very strongly. The existing online companies, if you look at companies like Wayfair and Amazon, it's a dropship model. They will ask companies like Article to put their inventory on and then ask us to dropship it to them. I don't see that as the future. So to me, there's going to be one really big company in the online home furnishing space that's going to really get the experience, nail it down properly, and it's going to be a giant play. We hope to be that company, so that's where we're targeting. We've got some ambitious growth plans. You know, our revenues have gone up in the last 16 months. They've gone up 30x. So it's just staggering growth. And we think we can probably 30x, another 30x would be very, very difficult, but we think we can grow it another 5-6x over the next 12 months. And then continue to grow at a very, very healthy rate. So, of course, there's no guarantees. There's competition out there. It all boils down to whether we can execute well. But so that's sort of our plans. Continue doing what we're doing, growing, becoming better in really providing the ultimate consumer experience for home furnishing. That's unbeatable.
Wow, very cool, very impressive. I guess your marketing team is doing something right. That's fantastic. Great. So one question we got from Louise is, what kind of tools do you guys use to collaborate and communicate within the team? How do you guys?
Yeah, there's. I think our creative team and our marketing team uses Trello quite a bit. I think our tech team is using Asana, but I think they're not completely happy with it, so they might be changing it. There's a few different tools like that are used. Of course, everybody's on Slack for just kind of corporate communications. I like the old school way where I just walk up to somebody and start chatting with them.
Yeah, it's a good one. It works. Great.
Right.
Cool. So Elaine is asking about project management. What's Article seems to have a good relationship with project management. How do you look at project management? How do you deal with it? Is it like do you use a software for that or?
I don't know. We just a lot of Google Docs, spreadsheets, Trello has a bit of project management in it. We're actually not a big timelines and deadlines oriented company, which is a bit strange. But to me, it's about working optimally and efficiently and coming out with the best solutions. And I don't try to pose in timelines when not needed. So there's not a whole lot of scheduling. Of course, there's some scheduling that is needed, and it does happen. And typically, Google spreadsheets suffice for that.
Again, keeping it simple. I like it.
Yeah.
That's great. Cool. I think Eduardo, or I don't know if it's the same Eduardo, but is also, yeah, it is. He's a project manager and likes to work as a business analyst too. So very cool. He's wondering if there's any jobs. Do you guys have any jobs for PMs or project managers?
Not particularly. Just yeah, it's not. There's just not a lot of just sort of cross-project management, those type of jobs. I probably haven't reached that stage in a company where we need more of those types of roles. Probably will at some point, but not right now.
Cool. And what about your development methodology? Is it Scrum, Kanban? Like what do you guys? I don't know if you are aware if they're using Scrum or anything like that on the team.
I have no idea. I got to ask that question to Tassine. I'm not sure what methodology he's using.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna guess it's Scrum because I think that's what most people use. But yeah, cool. And what about big data, kind of Hadoop, all those big tools to manage data? Are you guys doing anything around that?
We use an RDBMS, so we use Aurora DB on Amazon AWS, and it suffices for our needs. We're not, I don't think we're at the point where, or I can foresee us being at a point where RDBMSs won't work for us, and you need to go down looking at things like Hadoop and stuff. Of course, we do extensive use of caching. I can't recall what caching frameworks get used, but file DBs and Hadoop and stuff, it's probably overkill for us.
Cool, awesome, good to know. And I guess no BI tools or anything like that, like Tableau or ClickView?
None of those. I mean, we extensively use GA, a couple other tools like that, but we actually just hired somebody who actually might bring in some more tools for that. We are a big analytics company. There's a ton of data that we're collecting, but there's probably tools that we can use to leverage it better.
Nice. And then just so everyone's clear, GA, Google Analytics. So yeah, just to be very clear for everybody. Awesome.
Sure.
Cool.
No worries.
Great. Yeah, so I guess here we go. What kind of raw material of the manufacturer guys use? What are you kind of maybe seeing in the trends of the material or just the material for the furniture? So.
There's lots. I mean, of course, there's a lot of wood that gets used. Hardwoods, a lot of our sofas, most of our sofas use New Zealand pine, FSC certified New Zealand pine. Leather, a lot of leather comes from Italian tanneries, but the hides come from South America. Fabrics are typically sourced in Asia, countries like China, Turkey, some from Europe. Of course, there's some engineered wood that gets used from different places. There's some rubber wood. There's teak, acacia. Really, and then there's of course metal. A lot of different raw materials go into furniture.
Yeah, cool, awesome. I hope that answers.
Indonesia, somebody asked, I think. Yes, I mean, actually, I'm sitting on a table right now that is teak from Indonesia that we plan on launching for spring next year.
Cool. Yeah, you guys already thinking about the next 6 months, six months from now? That's pretty far ahead, or is that normal for? Yes.
It's a long cycle. So it from the time you place production orders, it takes 3 to 4 months before we'll get the product. So you have to work a little bit in advance there.
I see. Cool. And do you have any positions for industrial or furniture designers?
I don't think there's one open, but I bet there will be soon.
Cool, awesome. So yeah, Eric will keep an eye out, or your friend can keep an eye out for that. Great, cool. So if there's no other questions, I think we've gone through a lot. I guess maybe the last question or the last couple of questions are for me is one is how can people apply? I know the answer, but maybe you can share that. And I'll
no, you go ahead, Ilya. You go ahead. You can answer that question.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So guys, well, I guess first thing is that the article will be part of the VanHackathon. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, you got 1 week. VanHackathon is happening next Friday, and they'll be submitting a challenge to see what you guys can do during the weekend. And you can apply to jobs at Article here, and you can join the VanHackathon. I will put the link here. Here. So yeah, those are links. Again, Article is, yes, they do sponsor Visa, guys. So our Article is going to be part of the hackathon, and they will be interviewing more, I'm guessing closer to the end of October, beginning of November. As Zamir mentioned, they're going through a lot of a rollout of big projects. So just be patient. But if you're a strong Java React developer, I think there's a spot available for you, and hopefully more. As they continue growing from there. Yes, Gustavo. No, they haven't analyzed any of the applications yet, just because they've been busy with the current projects. So okay, great. Amir, I'm actually going to stick around and answer some of the questions about general Canada stuff and VanHack. Right, in general. So really, thank you so much for taking some time to hang out with us, share your experience, and talk a little about Article. I'm sure you'll get a lot of excited applicants and hopefully some great hires.
Sounds great. Thanks, Ilya. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Cool. All right, guys. So the webinar is not over. I hope you enjoyed that talk. A lot of great tips there from Amir. They really are hiring, and they need it. They need some tech help, as you guys all saw. Seems like a very cool company to work for. Very big challenges in logistics and just general e-commerce stuff. Thanks, Eduardo. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So I'm going to stick around for another 10-15 minutes just to answer any questions you guys might have about the hackathon. It'll happen again, as I mentioned, in 8 days. I'm freaking out, but it's okay for everybody. So if you haven't signed up, you can go to vanhack.com/hackathon. So all the companies that are participating are here. I'll just put it here. Are open to sponsor your visa. So all these companies are open to sponsor your visa or hiring remotely. Which is really exciting. And yeah, you'll be able to interact with them, show them your skills, and hopefully, find a great job. And so if you have any questions, now's your time to ask about that. And I'll answer any questions for another 5-10 minutes, and then we can wrap it up. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the webinar. Any questions, feel free to ask. Price for the hackathon is $10 Canadian dollars, so like 25 reais, and that includes a consultation call, course, and a weekly, or I guess monthly, hangout with an expert. We do hackathons every 3 to 6 months. The main difference between this hackathon and the previous one, I guess the companies really is the biggest difference. It's pretty much the same setup, just different companies. Some returning companies, but most of them are different, are new companies. So yeah, that's probably the biggest difference. Cool. Is the hackathon a yearly thing? Yeah, I just answered that, yeah. So we'll probably do another hackathon early next year. I'm not sure. Not sure exactly when. Maybe the next one, probably maybe March, maybe February. What is the biggest point that employees decline when they're hiring and sponsoring visa? Well, I would say it's not really like a difference if they're hiring and sponsoring visa and if they're hiring and not sponsoring visa. It's all, it's always the same thing. I think sponsoring the visa doesn't really make a big difference in the criteria that they have. Maybe the only difference is that they want someone who's really good because that way they will justify waiting the time they have to do to have the person join the team. Yeah. Jonathan, do you think it's so much difference between company which final product and a digital like Google? No, I mean, you're working, you're coding, right? So that there's no real big difference. Yes, Wender, you can solve the problem by yourself. The teams are 1 to 4 people, and a lot of the problems you can just work on your own. What are the basic requirements to be successful in the hackathon? Be a good coder and know how to communicate well. That's really the basics, and that's really all you need. You'll have good tech skills. Cool. No, not all the teams are already formed. Wender, a lot of people still don't have teams. Yeah. Do you post challenges and resolve? Yes. We won't have infrastructure challenges, just coding challenges. I'll have some specific programming language. No, most of the coding languages, most of the challenges are open to any programming language you want. So it doesn't matter. It's what you can do. So yeah. What language are the most required? There really isn't one that's more required than others. I would say the most popular languages in Canada are Ruby on Rails, JavaScript, .NET, Java, Python. Yeah, those are probably the most popular ones, and of course Android and iOS. Jonathan's programmer, less chance of the same skills to a premium member. What do you mean? If you're a pro or premium member, you have the same chance of getting hired at the hackathon. It doesn't make a difference. I would say maybe if you're a premium member, you probably have a better resume and better English. So yeah, the member you are, like if you're a pro member or a premium member, has no influence over whether you're going to get hired or not from the company. The premium member just has more training, right? Because you get 16 hours of English practice every month, and you have your resume and your LinkedIn and all that reviewed. So there's not really any, how can I say, there's no difference other than the amount of training you might have, because we do work out really intensely and closely with our premium members to make sure they're ready for job interviews. But in terms of tech skills, we don't teach programming, so yeah, that doesn't really matter. 98, if someone wants to join. I don't understand. What do you mean, I-98, if someone wants to join? Is that the team that you're looking to be on? I'm not sure. Cool. All right. Any other questions? Got to go. All right, Diego, or Diogo, sorry. Diego, see you later. See you soon. Thanks for being here. Really great to spend some time with you, man. Fluency in English, the primary requirement to be hired. No, the primary requirement to be hired is your tech skills. Code has no accent, and your English is always getting better. So if you can code and your English will just get better, don't worry about it. What matters is if you're a good professional. Yeah, see you in the hackathon, Diego. Yeah, all that matters is if you're a good professional. Excuse me. Okay, Team I-98, great. That sounds good, Wender. Cool. Good night. Good night, Jonathan. Yeah, guys. Yeah, have a good night. Any other questions? All right. Possible some enterprises starts the process job and give up. I think what you mean is they hire you and then they give up from hiring you. If they send you an offer and you sign it, it's very, very likely that they won't give up. So don't worry about it. Thanks, Giuliano. Have a good night. Bruno, yes, you're a little late. We're just about to finish. The webinar started at 8 p.m. UTC -3. So yeah, you're a little bit late. But don't worry, this is going to be recorded and will be put on YouTube so you can watch it tomorrow. Cool. Do you offer internships? No, VanHack does not offer internships. We help people get full-time jobs that pay well. Internships are just for college students. Thanks, Paulo. Glad you liked it, and thanks, Wender. Was it good? I think it was a good webinar. I don't know. Ask the guys watching. I have no idea. I guess that was for everybody a question. But Bruno, I don't know. I think it was good. Yeah, Jorge, talk to you soon, man. Looking forward to it. Hackathon will happen from 8 p.m. on Friday to 8 p.m. on Sunday. That's UTC -3, 4 p.m. Pacific time, UTC -7. Difficulty is visa. Yes, that is always the most difficult thing. Before the process, I'm going to go for Canada. Yeah, Canada is much easier visa than US, Cristiano. Non-stop. Yeah, non-stop. Non-stop, Eduardo. Hi, bye, Monica. Have a good night. Yeah, it's a non-stop hackathon, so no sleep. I'm just kidding, but you can sleep as much or as little as you want. It's up to you. Yeah, cool. All right, cool, guys. So any questions? Maybe one more question, and we will wrap it up. And we'll probably have another webinar next week before the hackathon starts. Never seen any hackathon. Yeah, any programming language. Excuse me. So the hackathon with just one winner. No, the way that the winner is basically people who get hired. This hackathon is no winner. So yeah. Awesome, Lucas. It's great to have you at VanHack Premium. Looking forward to it. Yeah, man. Welcome. You should get some sleep. Yeah, because I didn't sleep much last night. I'm pretty tired. All right, cool. All right, guys, it was fun hanging out with you. As always, if you have any questions at all about anything, just email me, ilya@vanhack.com. I'm sure you guys get some emails from me once in a while, right? Don't worry, I won't email anymore this week. Another thing I should say is we're going to be having a virtual conference in November. So after the hackathon, we'll be talking a lot more about that, but get ready. It's going to be awesome. It'll be 100% free virtual conference at the end of November. So yeah, thanks, Rossi. Yeah, it's good. Apparently it's going to be a big one. Cool. Well, hey, awesome, guys. Have a fantastic night, a great weekend. Again, email me if you have any questions. For all the pro and premium members, we'll talk in Slack, and we'll see you guys in the hackathon. Get ready. Companies like Article will be there sponsoring visas, getting ready to hire good people. So yes, good luck, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.